So the coalition will ramp up its cost of living pitch by repealing penalties for car companies under Labor's vehicle emissions standards. So, Bridget, you want to change it. What's your pitch?
Well, the coalition wants to see Australians driving cleaner and cheaper cars, but we don't think you need to be taxing the cars we need and love to drive in this country to do that. And so today we are announcing we are axing Labor's car tax. This is a tax that will drive up the cost of SUVs and Utes, our top-selling brands, under Labor. And by 2029, under this car tax, the average Australian heading out to buy a car will be paying additional $14,400 for your Ford Ranger and $9,700 for your Toyota RAV4. Now, they're our top-selling car and ute in this country. We love them. They allow us to get to work, get the kids to sport, enjoy the great outdoors. But driving up their purchase costs to meet Chris Bowen's unachievable target on emissions, I think's appalling, and we're axing it. That's what we're announcing today. And with it will go the subsidy to Tesla and Chinese EV makers as well.
OK, well, let's get some response to that now. Zali, with yours.
Seriously, it's like Peter Dutton and the coalition open their policy drawer, they find it empty and they dust off an old bad policy.
Wow.
And try and sell it. Let's be really clear. Fuel efficiency standards enable Australians to get the most fuel efficient cars, so that will cost less at the Bowser, or electric cars, and that also have the latest and best safety provisions, because they are the latest models that the car manufacturers are making. It means that we are encouraging and is requiring manufacturers to bring into Australia the best, latest, most fuel efficient model and best, safest cars, right? So this is just going back to the part, I just seriously don't understand how the coalition cannot get with the times, except transport is going electric. This is how Australian families save money, because they are not having to have fuel guzzling cars that are bad for the environment, have a high carbon footprint and cost a lot to families. It's really like, we are in 2025. Could the coalition please come up with some policies that are fit for the times?
OK. Your response to that, Bridget?
Zali, yeah, absolutely. Let's not do the carbon footprint of an EV, please, or where the lithium comes from in Africa, because that will get into a whole nother debate. We are not repealing the efficiency standards. We want to see cleaner cars on our roads with the latest technology, and so those standards are going to remain part of our policy. So thank you for outlining them in such detail. What we're axing is the tax that Chris Bowen and you voted to put on these newer versions of cars. We don't think you should have to tax people to buy cars that are cheaper to drive and that are better for the environment. We don't agree with that. We think Australians are going to buy them anyway, Zali. You and all the Teals want to see an electric-only future, which for those of us in the suburbs and the regions isn't realistic.
We'll have to close on this point, but Zali, what's wrong with just giving people the choice? Why force people in one direction?
Because, Pete, the reality is for too long we were not given the choice. So Australian people were not given the choice by car manufacturers, because they dumped the dirtiest and the least fuel efficient cars in Australia. By having fuel efficiency standards, which brings us into line with all developed nations,
we're not getting rid of them.
We were in line with Russia in the past. So the reality is you have to have these regulatory provisions and consequences if you don't choose to meet them to enable progress. And we are seeing great progress and uptake of electric vehicles and fuel-efficient cars as a result.
No, that's not. No one wants them. They're too expensive.
We will have to leave it there. Bridget, Zali, thanks for your time, though. We'll chat again next week.